All right. Tonight we're going to do Thursday's homework. So let's go ahead and get started because there's a lot to do and we don't want to make the video super long. All right, so we have, to begin with, we have orders of operations. So that's what we want to start with. So we have to remember our list for order of operations. Remember, order of operations is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And so then you need to recopy the problem. And then from here, we're going to follow our steps. Our first step is P, which stands for parentheses. So I'm going to box in my parentheses and know that's the part of the problem I'm working with. 21 divided by 7 is 3. And I'm going to bring down the rest. Because there's no more parentheses, I can check that off and move to the next step, when the next step is exponents. And so I have an exponent right here. Remember, this is not 3 times 3. It is 3 times 3 times 3. It is 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27. Bring down the rest of our expression here and check off exponents because we don't have any more exponents. We also don't have any multiplication or division, and all we have left is addition. So really, all you have to do is put in your calculator. Pull my calculator real fast. Make it smaller so I can see. I can put in, I'm just going to work from left to right because it's just addition. So 3 plus 6 plus 27 gives me 36. So 36 is my answer. The next problem we have here is find the quotient. And so remember, our steps for finding the quotient is does McDonald's sell burgers? Divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. We have 4,378 divided by 15. 15 will go into 4 0 times, and it'll go into 43 twice. 2 times 15 is 30. The reason I didn't do it 3 times is this. I know that 15 times 3 is 45, and that wouldn't work. My difference here is smaller than my divisor, so I know it works. So my next step is to bring it down. So I have 137. So I need to try. So usually my magic number is 5. Well, I feel like 5 isn't going to be big enough, so I'm going to try 15 times 7. 7 times 5 is 35. 1 times 7 is 7 plus 3 is 10, so 105. So I still have a ways that I can go, so I'm going to bump it up to 5 times 9 and just see what I get here. 5 times 9 is 45. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 plus 4 is 13, and I get 135, and I couldn't get any closer than that right there. So I'm going to use a 9. 9 times 15 was 135. When I subtract, I get 2 left over. Bring down my 8. 15 will only go into 28 once because we found out that 15 times 2 is 30, and that would be too much. So when I subtract, 8 minus 5 is 3, 1. And here in this situation, I have nothing else to bring down. So what I need to remember to do is come up here and add a decimal, 0, so that I have something else I can bring down. And I'm going to get 130. Well, 15 times 9 was 135, and that was too big, so I'm going to do 15 times 8. Gives me 120. So I'm going to use 8. And I'm going to subtract. I'm going to get 10 left over. Add another 0 to bring down. Okay. So here we have 15 times 7 gives me 105, and that's too big. So I have to try 15 times 6. That's 30, 90. Go ahead and put my 6. Whoops. I'm going to put my 6 up here, add my 0 to bring down. And I'm just going to end up with 100 again. And so that's when we're going to find out that our 6 is going to keep repeating. So our answer is 291 and 86 with the 6 repeating. All right. Let me clear this off so I have some more room to work. All right, I'm not going to do find the quotient with you for fractions because you should know how to use keep, change, reciprocal. I'm going to have you try find the quotient here on, I'm going to have you try this one on your own. Okay, remember it does McDonald's sell burgers. Well, let's go ahead and do it. 12 will go into 5 0 times. 12 will go into 54. Let's try 4 times. 12 times 4 is 48. When I subtract, I have 6 left over. Bring down my 3. 12 times 5 is 60. Subtract, and I get 34. 12 times 3 is 36, so that won't work. So I try 2, so I get 24 with 10 left over. And same thing like we did above, you have to add a decimal, bring down your 0. 12 will go into 108 times. If you don't remember what that is, you go 12 times 8, 6, 1, 96. Leaves us with 4. Bring down our 0. So at 40 times 3 is 36. So it's good to know our multiplication tables so I can do this kind of quickly. And I'm going to notice that 40 is going to start repeating. So that means our 3 here is going to be repeating as well. So we didn't get a pretty even number, but that's okay because we know how to do it. Our next problem is finding the product of a decimal. So remember, when we're multiplying decimals, we don't have to line up the decimals. We forget that the decimals exist. So I have 3124 times 3.9. And so remember, the 9 has to touch every digit up top. So 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 2 is 18 plus 3, 18, 19, 20, 21. 9 times 1 is 9 plus 2 is 11. 9 times 3 is 27 plus 1 is 28. I am done with my 9 because 9 has touched every digit up top. So now I have to move to the next problem, or the next digit is a 3. But before I can just move over here, because it's going to start here, I need to put a 0 right here as a placeholder. So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Add it up. 9, 10, 11, 12. And I have to come and count my decimal places to see how many places I can go. So I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, decimal. And so the answer is 121 and 836. Okay. The next problem you have is dividing a decimal. And remember, when we divide a decimal, we have to move the decimal to the right until you get a whole number on the outside. And whatever you do to the outside, you have to do to the inside. So you're going to bring that decimal up right there. So your new problem is 243 divided by 26. I'm not going to do this one with you because I want you to try and do it on your own. Just remember the steps. Does McDonald's sell burgers? Divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. All right, your last ones are word problems. It says a red string of holiday lights blink once every 3 seconds, while a string of blue lights blink once every 4 seconds. How many times will both sets of lights blink at the same time in 1 minute? And so what you need to do here, you're going to find the LCM. So find the LCM of 3 and 4, and that'll give you your answer. Next one, Angie baked 100 cookies and 20 brownies. She wants to split them into equal groups for the bake sale. Each group must have the same number of cookies and brownies with none left over. What is the greatest number of groups? That key word right there is greatest. So you need to put 120 in the slide, and you're going to find the GCF. And then the last one, to make a hummingbird nectar, you must use 4 cups of water and 1 cup of sugar. What is the ratio of water to sugar? So you have water to sugar. You have 4 cups of water to 1 cup of sugar. And so here's your ratio.